Hello, welcome back to Ginny's. I'm Ginny and today I'm going to show you how to make a gluten-free and dairy-free vanilla cake with gluten and dairy-free buttercream as well. So to begin, we are going to pop all these ingredients in. Now, if you look at the V here on the corner of your screen and hit that, all of the recipe will come down there. You can screenshot it and do as you please, and that's just going to make life a lot easier. So I'm going to go straight in with my white sugar and my vegan butter. Now I use a block butter. Now depending on where you're from, I use the Flora vegan block, unsalted, really like that one. And that's what I use there. But anything that's vegan with butter, you can use that. So I'm going to do exactly the same as you would do with any other recipe. I am going to whip these up until it's really light and fluffy. Okay. Right, so I have a creaming paddle on there, as you can see. So if you don't have the creaming paddle, you will just have to stop and scrape down. But as you can see there, that's become really light and fluffy, just the way we want that to be. Okay, so now we're going to add in, here I've got my eggs, my vanilla and my milk. And that's just going to pop in. And then I've also got my plain gluten-free flour, the baking powder and a little bit of xantham gum, and they're going to go in. Now my milk was soya milk, but you could use anything else. I tend to use soya because the flavour's not really there. So just on the lowest speed, just so this doesn't flip back up at you. Now the good thing with gluten-free is that there aren't glutens in there, so whipping it too much isn't going to be that much of a big deal, but I don't want to do that. The other really important thing with gluten-free is the resting period. So this now will need to sit for a minimum of half an hour. If it's really cold, warm where you are, pop it into the fridge. Otherwise, it's fine just left there and just let it drink up all of that moisture. That flour really needs to drink that up. So, but that is it. Look how simple that was. Again, if you don't have a creaming paddle, just give it a scrape down. Right, and that's it. So I will come back in half an hour when that's rested. So I'll see you soon. Right, so it's had half an hour. So we're just going to lift that back up and give this a quick mix around. Just because sometimes there can be a slight little film that comes over the top. That's why we don't do this in the tins, okay? And that's it. If you do it in the tin, then sometimes it's not a film you feel, but it's there, and you put them in the oven and they bake unevenly because of that tiny film that appears. Right, I'm going to remove this, and then we're going to turn this out into the tins. Now I'm doing 3 6-inch. I know that my other 6-inch I cannot find it anywhere, so I'm using a different one there, but I'll fill them all the same. Right. You can weigh them out if it's easier for you, but I'm quite happy with what I'm doing here. Right, so just give that a little bit. It's quite wet, so we'll give it a bit of a jiggle around. And these are going to go into the oven. I've preheated my oven to 160. Normally these would take around about 22-23 minutes. I will tell you how long exactly. With gluten-free, it can take that a little bit longer. Don't forget we do have that extra little bit of moisture in there that you would in a regular one, just so that it's been able to suck all that up. So I'm going to pop them in and I will see you when they come out. Okay, so they're out. All done. We'll just leave them to rest. They took 25 minutes to cook, so we will come back to them when they're cooled and decorate. Okay, we are going to make the buttercream. Ooh, sorry. So I'm just going to pop into my mixer there the same butter as what I used before. So that was the Flora vegan block, but any dairy-free butter that you can get that is in block form. You don't really want a wet one, otherwise it's going to affect the stability of it. So, same as usual, we're going to turn this up to high. I'm using the whisk attachment, and we're going to let it go for about 5 minutes. Okay, when it's really light and fluffy like this, we're then going to add our icing sugar in 3 parts. So first third in. Just put it on low just to let that combine in. I am keeping this whisk on. And then once you're happy you're not going to get absolutely covered, back up to high again. Okay, once that's combined, just going to get that scrape down. And then we're going to go in with another block. At this point I'm going to also put my vanilla in, and again we're going to put that slow to begin with so it doesn't chuck out, and then back up to full speed and whilst it all incorporates. Right, that's done. It's getting stiffer now, that's fine. In with the last lot, and then we're just going to let this whip on a medium to high speed. Right, that's then become really light and fluffy, as you can see. Oh, at this point now, I'm going to take off this whisk, give it a little bang about, not to waste any. There we go. Okay, I've got this one here, but if you just have a regular scraper, just use that and scrape down, but you want to go on low, just to get all those air pockets that we've put. We've whipped it all up, we've allowed the graininess to all be absorbed in there, and now we just need to let that go. So I'm going to let that go again for around about another 3 or 4 minutes, and that's going to be perfectly smooth, brilliant buttercream. Now if by any chance it was a little bit thick, you could add a teaspoon of boiling water, but normally with the vegan ones it's not overly needed. So I'll see you when this is finished. Okay. So now that's been going around and it's gone really, really lovely and smooth. We're going to scrape this into a bowl, and I'm going to pop this into the fridge until we need it to decorate the cake later. So that is just our really plain and simple how to make a gluten and dairy free vanilla cake. Absolutely gorgeous, so don't forget to subscribe and drop me a little like there, and I will see you all really soon. Take care, bye bye.